We are 6 days away from Season 5 within Warzone and Cold War, and yesterday we got the official roadmap for the season, showing us what we're getting at launch and what we're getting later in season. And based off of looking at it, it doesn't look like Season 5 is going to be anything too special. It seems like just filler content so they can put content into the game and not have like a 2-month span with nothing in the game. But there's nothing that sticks out as interesting or fun in this battle pass, or I guess this season. It looks very lackluster and very boring, and when the actual season comes out, I'll probably make an update video, kind of like a follow-up to this one, with my first impressions of the season. But it looks like Season 5 sucks and it's not even out yet, which is what I wanted to talk about today. I'm going to talk about and break down the actual roadmap of what we're getting in the game, so those of you that don't see the roadmaps ever or haven't cared to look at it or didn't even know it was out, you guys can get the info on what's coming out, and I'll share my opinions on some of the things being introduced to the game, because honestly, it seems like this season doesn't have anything special whatsoever. Let's start with multiplayer, which is specifically Cold War. We're getting a new mode, Double Agent, which sounds very interesting. It sounds almost like a party game mode, and I know you guys are gonna absolutely cringe and hate what I'm about to say, but it sounds kind of like it has an Among Us vibe, where there's a bunch of agents around the map, like everyone's on one team, except there's a double agent that has to like kill everyone while everyone's doing their own thing and like trying to win the game, or however it goes. It sounds like there's some sort of Among Us vibe to it, especially from the picture, because you have a bunch of just random agents walking around and then one double agent. Demolition's coming back all the way from the golden era of Call of Duty. That's like Modern Warfare 3 Black Ops 2 days. For those that don't know what Demolition is, it's a respawn game mode with unlimited lives, and it's just search and destroy, but you have unlimited lives, and instead of just destroying one bomb, you have to destroy two. And same thing for the defenders, you just have to defend both teams from planting both bombs, and everyone can plant. There's no only one bomb cartridge. For multiplayer maps, this is where the issue starts to arise for me with this battle pass, and there's like a double-edged sword for this, and I'll explain what the double-edged sword is in a little bit. We are getting 4 6v6 maps: Echelon, Slums, Drive-In, and Zoo. And Slums, Drive-In, and Zoo are all remade or remastered maps from previous Black Ops games. Slums is Black Ops 2, and then Drive-In and Zoo are from Black Ops 1. Echelon is the only brand new map coming out. But the thing is regardless of if they remaster maps or go with brand new maps, they're always going to get hate towards this, because if they only remaster maps, then you have a bunch of people complaining, me included, that they're only reusing maps over and over again. And if they only made new maps, you would have people on the opposite side of the spectrum complaining, well, can we get some remastered maps because these new maps suck? So there's no winning for the developers in that situation, but they could have at least done 50-50 with 2 new maps and 2 remastered maps. And of course, Showroom is a 2v2 3v3 map that's going to be in the face-off playlists, which is a new map as well, and it's going to be interesting to see that map in there. But it's not really a 6v6 map, and only a small amount of players are actually going to play that during the like face-off and 2v2 and gunfight playlists. I think it goes with no surprise that Zombies isn't getting a lot of content. We're getting a new Outbreak region, which is the Collateral Combined Arms map. The tank is a new vehicle being added into Outbreak, and the grapple gun from Black Ops 4 is being thrown into Outbreak as well. And there's a new transport objective, which just sounds like the objective that's already in the game, where you escort that little drone thing. And then we're getting a new field upgrade called Tesla Storm. No one knows what it really is. I don't really know what it could be. I've seen some theories throughout the community, but nothing seems solid enough. And then we're getting the new perk Depth Perception from Black Ops 4. And here's the thing with Zombies. I think we all knew that Zombies wasn't going to see any new content in Season 5, but it's really getting 0 content. Sure, for Outbreak players, new region that we've already seen in Combined Arms multiplayer, new vehicle, new equipment, new objective. That's all fine and cool, but even then for Zombies, that's not really very interesting. And we all know Mauer Toten just came out, so it's not like we're gonna see any new map anytime soon, but realistically, we kind of expected there to be no new Zombies content. But here's the one thing that I find weird, and I saw a Mr. T Lexify video on this yesterday, and he was talking about the new perk Depth Perception, and how out of all the perks to bring back in Call of Duty history, you bring back one of the worst ones from one of the I would say, least enjoyed games from the zombies community, which is Black Ops 4, and you quite literally grabbed the worst perk in like COD history. Like, I would honestly rather have Double Tap 1.0 or like the original Deadshot from Black Ops 1 over Death Perception, but we don't know how it's going to work. I'm sure you guys can find leaked videos for theories on what the perks will do. But it just seems like zombies getting no content, and then out of all the perks they could have chose to remaster or add to the game, they add Death Perception. No Widow's Wine, no PhD Flopper, no Double Tap. That's just how it's going on the zombies aspect. So realistically, for Season 5, zombies content is going to be at a bare minimum, and they're not going to see a lot of changes whatsoever. Just a new perk and a new field upgrade. And I feel like the field upgrade could be really cool to try a couple times, but I feel like it's just going to be with that, like whatever that spiky vine one was that was just added to the game like a couple seasons ago. I think everyone's just going to go back to using Ring of Fire and Ether Shroud anyway, so we'll have to see. Warzone, it's a weird gray area because there are some interesting things coming into Warzone, but because of the state of the game right now, it's kind of weird to see these things put into the game because there's so many issues that not a lot of people are going to be playing Warzone to consume this content. There's new mobile broadcast stations, which just kind of sound like a mini objective, very similar to what the satellites were during the beginning of Season 4. There's a new game mode called Clash in Season, which it's like two revolvers pointing at each other. So it could be like a TDM type mode, or I don't know, maybe like a greater team scale game mode, maybe something similar to Payload, where it's kind of just portions of the map and it's more of like a multiplayer game mode than anything. We're getting a new Gulag, which is going to be Rush, or the paintball themed map from Black Ops 2 that was remastered into Cold War. And here's my hot take on the Gulags. They should have not changed the Gulag. Okay, I understand switching the Gulag to Nuketown for Cold War, but I don't like the Gulag changing so frequently. I wish they would just stick the Gulag and kept it Nuketown. Like, for the Modern Warfare era of the Gulag, I completely understand the Gulag showers being the thing. It made complete sense. But during the Cold War integration, I don't like how they change the map every single time that there's a new season. I wish they just did the thing where they change out what guns are in the Gulag weekly. So like one week you'll have like pistols and shotguns only. The next week you'll have snipers and marksmans only. Kind of like what it was in Modern Warfare. That's just my hot take. And we're getting two new perks, which is Combat Scout and Tempered. Tempered obviously has something to do with armor, and then Combat Scout, it seems, has something to do with pinging. Combat Scout might just be like the Marksman perk, like Marksman Pro from Modern Warfare 3, where you can see enemies from greater distances or like see enemy names rather than just seeing like an enemy. We're getting new operators, new battle pass. Everyone knows that we're getting new bundles as well. New weapons, we're getting the EM2, which is an AR, the Tech 9 SMG, the Cane, and in season, the Marshall and the Flamethrower Score Streak, which will be added into Cold War. I'm assuming the Flamethrower is going to act very similarly to how the hand cannon was introduced to the game, where the Death Machine, hand cannon, and the War Machine were all basically just things you could pick up, and it was just like a more like a hands-on kill streak. Like, you're not controlling anything, you're just given a flamethrower that you can use in game. So yeah, with the weapons that are coming to the game, I'm excited for these weapons, but the thing that kind of sucks is whenever we see DLC weapons, we see pretty much only assault rifles and SMGs. And it makes sense because they're the most popular categories in the game. Tons of people love SMGs and new ARs into the game, but we haven't gotten anything really interesting within Cold War for DLC weapon wise. I think the only really interesting DLC weapons that we've gotten so far is the ZRG sniper, because it plays so differently from every other sniper in the game, the ballistic knives, the crossbow, and then yeah, that's pretty much it. It seems weird that we're seeing already a new SMG and AR into the game, especially because we literally just got a new SMG at the halfway point of Season 4, so it seems weird that we're getting another SMG already. It just seems oversaturated in the SMG and AR category, and I understand it's probably pretty difficult to come up with tons of weapons to bring into the game, but think about all the Black Ops 1 weapons they could have used. We could have seen like the HS-10 shotguns be brought into the game where you could actually akimbo them. They would have like horrible range, but you could actually bring them into the game and balance them that way. It would be really interesting to see like a DLC launcher be brought into the game. I'm sure there's tons of launchers from the Cold War area that we could be introduced to in the game. Since we only realistically have 2 right now, it would be cool to see more. And I know tons of people would not love a new launcher because the launcher challenges are such a pain in the first place, but it would be cool to see some diversity and things like that. The marshals I'm excited for. Based off of the picture of the marshals, I can't tell if this is going to be like the marshals from Black Ops 3 where it was like the pistols, like the shotgun pistols, but based off the image, I can't say for certain if we're going to see them as pistols or as a shotgun of its own. Regardless, marshals, very good in my books because it's a new class of weapon other than the assault rifles and the SMGs. And then of course the new melee weapon, the cane. We see new melee weapon every season. I think really once you have DM Ultra, unless you want to get it for every gun, no one really cares about the new melee weapons anyway, especially with melee weapons like the E-tool having such fast damage input to enemies. Anyway, that's pretty much it for the mid-season. Oh, and in mid-season event, which is the numbers, which is the one good thing and the one redeeming quality other than the marshals for me that are coming out in the mid-season. I'm like super excited to see what the numbers event's going to be. Hopefully it's not just some lackluster event. Hopefully it's something really, really interesting, kind of similar to the Halloween event that we saw in 2020 during Warzone when zombies were running around in Warzone and we had all these cool game modes. Anyway, that is going to be season 5 and that's what we're getting. It seems like it already, like I'm standing by it for now. It seems like it already sucks, even though it hasn't come out yet, but only time will tell. And I know it's unfair of me to give it a thumbs down before it even launches and before we even consume the content, but based off of how seasons have gone previously in Cold War, seems like it's just going to be meh at best. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Leave a like if you guys did enjoy, dislike if you didn't, subscribe for more videos in the future, social media links including my Discord server where you guys can come hang out and play games with us in the description below. I'm about to head out, and if there is one, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.